Hey, it's Kay. Welcome back to my channel. So, I did a 10-day detox and lost 10 pounds. Say what now? Yes, I did. That's crazy. I know. So, if you haven't watched my last video, I'm going to link it up below, above, wherever. And just make sure you check it out because it's kind of like a recap video of my detox and kind of like, a little bit, some takeaways in there. But this video goes a little bit more in depth of my takeaways. So, all right, make sure you go watch that video first. All right, so let me just kind of go with first thing was I did this detox. It wasn't necessary to lose 10 pounds. So I want to get that straight. It wasn't to just, I didn't go into the intention of losing 10 pounds. I simply just wanted to cleanse my colon. Colon cleansing is, I think, really needed because a lot of times we hold a lot of old waste in our stomachs, and that old waste just festers and sits there and grows. And even though we may have regular bowel movements and all that stuff, that it doesn't necessarily mean our colon is fully cleansing. We may, be backed up without even knowing. So I was doing a colon cleanse to kind of just like reset my digestive system and all that good jazz, So I did that. That was my complete intention. But it also was to challenge myself, because I have commitment issues. I have discipline issues. This whole weight loss and health journey thing is just, it's so much commitment. And self-commitment is something that I am actively always working on, right? So I was just like, you know what? If I could do this for 10 days, then I know I have the discipline in me. Because I love food. Food in me, that's like, food was my first love and probably would be my last love, truthfully, because the relationship I have with food, it's so, I love food and food loves me. But yeah, so it really was for discipline purposes, commitment purposes, and just to challenge myself and also to cleanse my body. And I also did a social media detox as well. So this entire fast, I was not on social media at all of any sort. And I was just kind of like, all right, let's do this. All right, so the first takeaway from this detox was I realized it's not hard once you stay off social media. That's the first thing. Let's get that out the window. It is not hard to stay off social media. After like 2 days or a day, you're just like, what is social media? What is that? That's a thing that exists? I wasn't even pressed to get on social. Knuckle crack. Simply because it kind of reminded me to stay so present in everything that I'm going on with me now. I was able to sleep better. I had less anxiety just about everything because, the social media likes to dump a lot of toxic energy into your space, a lot of propaganda, a lot of advertisements, a lot of just things that you realize you don't really need to consume. So that's one thing I noticed. I was a lot less anxious. I felt a lot more light, and I was able to get a lot more done just because I was just solely focused on me, what I have going on right now, and just people in my space actively that's around me. So that's the first thing. Social media is not all that. And I think, honestly, I might take more social media detoxes or cleanse because, like many people, I tend to passively scroll. So I had to, that was just like, that's one thing. A second thing I took away from this detox was I tend to eat out of habit and boredom over actual hunger. And that's something that I really took away because I'm like, I'm not even hungry right now. Why am I wanting to snack? Like, I just wanted to eat because it was something to do. And I think that's one big thing that I learned about my relationship with food is that you can't just eat out of habit. You actually have to listen to your body, eat out of hunger, or eat out of, eat out of hunger solely. And to determine that, you really have to be connected with your body because sometimes we're not even hungry. Sometimes we're actually just thirsty. But because we don't know how to separate dehydration, pains versus hunger pains, we tend to eat even though we're just dehydrated. Fun fact. So that's another thing. And then also, I just took away from this detox that there's a lot of things that I don't need to feel satiated. I already don't eat pork or steak or like red meats like goat and stuff like that. But I do eat chicken and fish, you know, and I love vegetarian and vegan alternatives already. Like, you know, I love that. So it just made me realize there's a lot of things that I don't necessarily miss if I can't have it. I'm just eating it out of convenience as well. Because let's be real, like, there's more access to, especially fast food purposes. If you just want a quick meal, there's more access to convenience meals that happen to have chicken in it or fish than vegan options. Well, where I live, because I live in a food desert. Unfortunately. But yeah, so that's another takeaway. I realize, you know, I can eat, there's many options of what I can eat. I just have to actually put the effort behind it to cook it up. Also, another takeaway, which everyone says this, that's like a fitness buff or whatever, but meal prepping is actually meal prepping. Meal prepping is what helped me get through this detox. I made my detox drinks 3 days in advance, and I kind of just kept them in the freezer to keep, the fridge to keep it cold. But if I had not meal prepped, I would not have finished this detox. I'm going to be honest, because the fact that the juices were in there, I was like, okay, I have to drink these. I made them. And also because of the set schedule that I was on for when I was supposed to be drinking certain things, it just kept me on track. And that's another thing about discipline. Sometimes you cannot stay on track with something if you don't organize it prior, if that makes sense. How are you supposed to get things done if you're not doing the steps to line up to ensure that you're getting it done? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you? There has to be some type of like preparation for the execution. Ooh, look at me trying to be fake deep. But yeah, so that's just like the 3 takeaways. And then in the end result, I lost 10 pounds. I lost 10 pounds. That's crazy. I feel so much lighter, energetically, spiritually, physically. I feel a lot more disciplined. I do. I was able to get a lot more done. And it kind of rewired my thinking, my frame of mind as well towards things. When you go without certain stuff, even if it's just food, or go without an addiction or something that you're addicted to, but even passively for X amount of time, it really does, you know, reprogram you in a way, or realign you to a better, more healthier, fitted version of yourself that you're trying to obtain. So I just took that away. I was like, I can do this. And I was able to envision like myself in my most healthiest form even more clearly. And yeah, that was just that. I mean, honestly, I'm not telling anyone to do a 10-day detox that's mostly liquid based. I was full majority of the detox, but you know, I wouldn't suggest that for everyone, because it's not for everyone. You know what I'm saying? It was a challenging detox. So I'm not going to tell you to go on and do it right now, because it was hard. And on day 3, I honestly started to get the shakes in my hands. And I think that was a mixture of my body was readjusting to not having, because as you know, some like people that are addicts, when they're during withdrawal, they may get the shakes like on day 3 or day 2 of the withdrawals, you know. And if you don't realize how much your body's addicted to processed foods until you don't eat processed foods. So I definitely think that's where I was getting the shakes, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a very challenging detox, but I say it was worth it. I may in the future just do 5 days instead of 10, you know, or maybe even 3 days instead of 10. But it was worth it. And so I suggest anyone that's considering doing a detox, do your research, one. Make sure it's something that you can do. If you have medical issues, talk to a doctor, because we don't got time for you to fall out or anything, or have any type of side effects that you can't control. And then 3, I would just say mentally prepare yourself, because it's not just a physical change. It's a spiritual thing that you're going to be doing as well. I meditated every day while I was doing it. I was actively praying and talking to myself, giving myself encouragement, journaling throughout the process as well. And just really journaling my thoughts and what I was thinking. So it is what you make it. And so if you do it however you choose to detox, just make sure it's healthy for you and it's benefiting you in some way. And just remember, you can do it. You can do it. If you have any more questions about my detox and more specific questions of what I did, just let me know down below. And I can make another video about it, or I can answer your questions down below because I want to connect with all of you. And yeah, so that's that. I did it. I'm 10 pounds down, and I'm able to fit in some jeans that I wasn't able to fit before like a month ago. And yeah, that's good. That's it. Alrighty, bye.